Thailand's real estate market, with its beachfront condos and luxury developments, is the picture of paradise investment. Everything there gleams with possibility. Modern high-rises offering ocean views, retirement villas nestled in tropical landscapes, and promises of returns that seem almost too good to be true. But this booming property sector, which foreign investors celebrate as their ticket to tropical living, has a side that rarely appears in the glossy sales brochures, a hidden side where dreams of paradise ownership crumble into legal nightmares and financial ruin, where the promises dissolve into a complex web of restrictions, loopholes, and outright deception. That reality exists in the fine print of contracts and the legal frameworks that foreigners rarely understand in the experiences of thousands who thought they were securing their slice. Otto of Heaven, today, we're going to expose this jarring contrast between two versions of Thailand's real estate market, one where opportunity shines brightly in promotional materials, and another where foreign buyers discover they never really owned anything at all. Thailand is located in Southeast Asia, strategically positioned in a region that has become increasingly attractive to international property investors, retirees from Western countries seeking affordable tropical living, digital nomads looking for long-term bases, and investors chasing yields that disappeared from their home markets decades ago. The country stretches from mountainous regions in the north down to the famous beach destinations of the south, creating diverse property markets that cater to different desires and budgets. It's bordered by 4 countries and 2 major bodies of water, creating a peninsula in the south that has become particularly attractive for resort and residential development, and that surprises a lot of people, doesn't it? Because while Thailand markets itself aggressively to foreign property buyers, the legal reality is far more restrictive than most realize. The country maintains strict laws about foreign ownership of land, laws rooted in historical concerns about sovereignty and cultural preservation. But these restrictions haven't stopped the property development boom. Instead, they've created a complex system of workarounds, legal grey areas, and practices that benefit developers and local partners while leaving foreign buyers vulnerable. Thailand's property landscape is diverse, from the urban density of major cities, where condominiums tower into the sky, to the island paradises where beachfront villas promise eternal vacation, from the mountain retreats in northern regions to the golf course estates that dot the central plains. And although it might all look like opportunity and tropical luxury, Thailand surprises with its labyrinth of property laws, restrictions, and the gap between what's marketed and what's legally protected. This nation, which today is synonymous with foreign investment and expat living, has a real estate history that reveals how the current situation developed for decades. Thailand maintained very strict limitations on foreign ownership. The country had experienced periods where foreign interests controlled significant economic sectors, and the laws reflected a determination to prevent that from happening with land. After the economic boom of recent decades and the push to attract foreign capital, the government began creating exceptions and workarounds without fundamentally changing the core restrictions. The condominium market opened up, with foreigners allowed to own units outright, but only up to 49% of any building's total area. This created the condo boom you see in places like coastal cities and islands, where towers of apartments market themselves specifically to international buyers, promising easy ownership and rental income potential. But here's where things get complicated, because land ownership, the ability to actually own a piece of Thailand itself, remains essentially forbidden to foreigners. You cannot simply buy land as a foreigner, no matter how much money you have. The law is explicit, and yet somehow there's an entire villa market, an entire industry of land-based developments, marketed aggressively to foreigners, with salespeople assuring buyers that there are perfectly legal ways to own land, and guess what? There aren't really legal ways. There are workarounds that range from legally questionable to outright illegal, and many foreign buyers don't discover this until it's far too late. In just the past 2 decades, Thailand's property market has exploded in value. Coastal areas that were once fishing villages now host developments where units sell for hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. Islands that were backpacker destinations have transformed into luxury property hotspots. It's worth remembering that this growth coincided with aggressive international marketing campaigns, property expos in Western countries, promising residency programs, suggesting tax benefits, painting pictures of paradise, living at affordable prices. In other words, a carefully constructed sales. No narrative designed to attract foreign money into a system that doesn't actually provide the protections or ownership rights that buyers assume they're getting. These factors combined created a perfect environment for problems: rapid development, eager foreign buyers, complex and restrictive laws. insufficient oversight, and an industry that profits from the gap between what's promised and what's legally delivered. What about some eye-opening figures? Thailand attracts billions in foreign property investment annually, with particular concentration in tourist areas. The numbers look impressive on paper, but beneath these statistics lies a more troubling reality, one involving disputed ownership, legal battles, and foreign buyers who discover their investments are worth far less than they paid, or that they don't legally own what they thought they bought. Or the most common scheme involves Thai nominees, where a foreign buyer is encouraged to set up a Thai company that will hold the land title. The foreigner puts up all the money. But Thai nationals are listed as majority shareholders to satisfy the law that companies owning land must be majority Thai-owned on paper. It looks legal. In reality, these are often sham companies where the Thai shareholders are paid nominees who have no real stake or involvement. It's illegal. But it's also incredibly common. Developers and lawyers facilitate these arrangements, collecting fees and commissions, while the foreign buyer believes they've found a legitimate workaround. The problem is that these structures are vulnerable. They can be challenged, they can be unwound, and they provide almost no real protection. If disputes arise today, Thailand is home to thousands of property developments specifically marketed to foreigners, from the high-rise condos lining coastal areas to villa projects in the hills. Each development comes with sales teams trained to overcome objections, to explain away concerns about foreign ownership, to make it all seem simple and secure. But this image requires ignoring some fundamental legal realities. It requires trusting systems that aren't designed to protect foreign interests. It requires believing that loopholes will remain open indefinitely. Property development has become a crucial economic driver. Particularly in tourist regions, each sale represents significant money flowing into the Thai economy, benefiting developers, construction companies, and the local officials who approve projects. The industry has been optimized to extract maximum capital from foreign buyers while maintaining the legal framework that keeps ultimate control in Thai hands. Now that we have the geographical and legal context, let's get into what really matters: the Thailand property market that exists behind the beautiful renderings and persuasive sales pitches. And you know that expression about things being too good to be true. It makes total sense here. Imagine attending a property exhibition. On one side are glossy presentations showing stunning villas, beautiful people living their best lives, sales materials promising guaranteed rental returns and easy ownership, professional salespeople ready to answer every question with reassuring confidence. On the other side exists the legal reality, where foreign land ownership is illegal, where the workarounds exist in grey areas or outright violation of law, where the guaranteed returns often never unmaterialize, and where buyers who run into problems discover they have almost no legal recourse. This is the Thailand property market that operates in plain sight. One face for the sales process, another for the harsh reality after money has changed hands, an industry that has perfected the art of making illegal or questionable arrangements seem perfectly normal and secure. After all, for the marketing materials to be so convincing, someone has to be hiding the risks. Right? Literally, paradise promises versus legal reality. To understand how Thailand's property market became such a perfect trap for foreign buyers, we need to go back in time, a few decades ago, when Thailand was just beginning to open up to significant foreign investment. The country needed foreign capital, but maintained deep ambivalence about foreign ownership of land. Nike's solution was to create limited exceptions, like the foreign quota in condominiums, while keeping the fundamental restrictions in place. This created opportunity, but also created the conditions for exploitation, because where there are strict rules, there's profit to be made in finding ways around them. Real estate developers recognized that foreign buyers had money and desire to own property in Thailand. All they needed was to be convinced it was possible. The industry that emerged specialized in exactly that: convincing buyers that complex legal structures could give them effective ownership without technically violating the law. Lawyers and agents developed standard approaches: the Thai company structure, the long-term lease combined with superficies rights, various contract mechanisms that promised security. The economic incentives were powerful. Developers could sell properties at premium prices to foreigners who had more capital than local buyers. Agents earned large commissions. Lawyers collected fees for setting up the structures. Everyone profited from maintaining the illusion that these arrangements were solid and legally sound, and like any system built on questionable foundations, it grew rapidly. What started as relatively sophisticated buyers who understood the risks expanded to include retirees with life savings, digital nomads with modest budgets. Anyone who could be convinced that owning property in Thailand was achievable, the marketing became more aggressive, the claims more expansive, and the number of people buying into vulnerable arrangements multiplied today. Thailand's property market operates as a massive funnel drawing in foreign capital through aggressive marketing and then distributing that capital through a complex ecosystem of developers, agents, lawyers, and the Thai individuals who serve as nominees or partners in ownership structures. The foreigners who provide the money often end up with the least protection and the most risk. They come from all over: wealthy retirees from Western countries looking for affordable luxury middle-class investors from Asia, seeking second homes or rental income, younger buyers attracted by Thailand's lifestyle and lower costs compared to their home countries. This influx of foreign buyers seems to create a thriving market where everyone benefits. Right? And in a way, there really is opportunity for everyone. But of course, some people get secure investments, while others get legal nightmares in the developments where foreign buyers concentrate. The reality often falls short of the promises there. The properties are real enough concrete and glass and impressive views, but the ownership is questionable. The rental returns that were guaranteed often fail to materialize. The management companies that were supposed to handle everything disappear or underperform. The resale market is far weaker than suggested because the pool of buyers is limited to others willing to take on the same questionable arrangements. But then, why do foreign buyers accept these structures? Why don't they just insist on completely legal ownership or walk away? The answer is far more complex than you might think. Well, it's worth remembering that most buyers don't fully understand what they're getting into. They arrive in Thailand on vacation, they fall in love with the location, they attend a sales presentation or work with an agent, and they're told that yes, there are restrictions. But here's how everyone does it. Everyone meaning thousands of other foreigners who've bought property. The social proof is powerful. If so many others have done it, how risky could it really be? Right? Well, unfortunately, there's an entire infrastructure designed to make illegal or questionable arrangements seem normal and safe. There are law firms that specialize in setting up Thai companies for foreign property buyers. There are agents who walk buyers through the process as if it's routine. There are developers who include these services as part of the purchase package. Everything is presented with an air of legitimacy, with professional documents and official-looking contracts that suggest this is all perfectly above board. When these buyers complete their purchases, they believe they own their piece of paradise, but the reality is far more precarious than they understand. The Thai company they've set up could be challenged as a nominee structure, which is illegal. Their majority, Thai shareholders, could theoretically assert control because legally they are the majority owners. The contracts and side agreements that are supposed to protect the foreign buyer's real ownership might not be enforceable in Thai courts if disputes arise. But you might be wondering, why doesn't the Thai government crack down if these arrangements are illegal? Why do they allow this industry to flourish? Most of the time, the government benefits from the economic activity. Foreign property investment creates jobs, generates tax revenue, and brings capital into the country. As long as things remain quiet, there's little incentive to disrupt the system. Enforcement is selective and sporadic, while usually only becoming an issue when disputes arise or when political winds shift, and suddenly there's focus on foreigners circumventing ownership laws. And to make matters worse, foreign buyers who do run into problems discover the legal system is not designed to help them. Thai courts apply Thai law, which explicitly prohibits what these buyers have tried to do. The contracts and structures they relied on may be deemed invalid, leaving them with no legal standing. The language barrier, the cost of legal action, the time and stress involved all work against foreign buyers who find themselves in disputes. In other words, for many, there is no effective remedy. Once problems arise, they're stuck in a situation where they've invested substantial money into an asset they can't legally own, can't easily sell, and can't get full protection from Thai law, and so these buyers end up trapped in arrangements where their investment is at constant risk, where the dream of paradise living comes with ongoing anxiety about legal vulnerability, where the property that was supposed to appreciate in value or generate rental income instead becomes a source of stress and financial loss. The expectation of secure ownership turns into a precarious situation that could unravel at any time. Many of these foreign buyers end up losing significant portions of their investment, trying to exit arrangements that have soured, or simply holding on to properties they can't sell and can't fully enjoy because of the legal uncertainty hanging over everything. Can you understand now why walking away isn't simple? How can you walk away when you've invested your savings, when you've bought into the dream, when you're being told by the unsane people who sold you the property that everything is fine and any problems are just minor technicalities, not to mention the fact that many of these buyers are emotionally invested. They've imagined their retirement here. They've told friends and family about their Thai property. They've built an identity around being property owners in paradise. Admitting it was all built on sand is psychologically difficult, and it is in this scenario already problematic that even more disturbing patterns emerge. Imagine discovering years after your purchase that the rental income that was guaranteed never materializes, or that the management company has disappeared, or that your Thai business partners are demanding money or threatening to assert their legal rights as majority shareholders. These buyers arrived with dreams and capital, but as time passes, the reality of Thailand's property market reveals itself. They're trapped in arrangements that have no real legal foundation, vulnerable to changes in enforcement, to disputes with Thai partners, to market conditions that make exit impossible. While the glossy property market continues marketing new developments to new buyers, utterly indifferent to those already caught in the trap. And it's not just the financial loss. The psychological toll is significant. The stress of legal uncertainty, the feeling of being cheated, the realization that all the professionals they trusted were serving their own interests, the constant worry that something could go wrong, that a letter could arrive challenging their ownership, that their Thai partners could turn on them. Many end up falling into states of regret and anxiety, in which their property becomes not a source of joy, but a constant reminder of a bad decision. That vision of Thailand as a property paradise, which once represented their dream retirement or investment, is now a source of bitter disappointment for some. The situation becomes so untenable that they simply abandon their properties, walking away from investments worth hundreds of thousands because the legal and emotional cost of trying to maintain or sell them is too high. While foreign buyers struggle with legal vulnerability, Thailand's property industry continues operating at full-scale development companies, launching new projects, sales teams, marketing to fresh audiences of potential buyers, agents, collecting commissions on transactions that put buyers into the same questionable structures that have already caused problems for thousands. And yes, this happens in a country that explicitly prohibits foreign land ownership. They have their own rationale, an economy built on foreign property investment so vast that entire regions depend on it, and parts of both the local population and the international buyer pool seem either oblivious to or accepting of the fundamental legal problems as long as money keeps flowing. And if you're considering buying property in Thailand, here's something you should know. The beautiful property you're looking at might be real, but the ownership structure you're being offered is almost certainly problematic. The agents and lawyers facilitating the purchase profit, regardless of whether your arrangement holds up over time, the guaranteed returns and appreciation projections are often wildly optimistic, and the legal protections you think you have may evaporate the moment you need them. The risk, the vulnerability, and the complete absence of the ownership security you'd have in your home country don't match the paradise narrative, but they're the reality of foreign property buying in Thailand. Anyone looking at Thailand's property market from the outside sees an attractive investment opportunity where tropical living meets affordable prices, where your money goes further, and where the lifestyle seems perfect. But this image is carefully marketed. The beautiful developments, the professional presentations, the testimonials from satisfied buyers, and the glossy brochures tell only a fraction of the story. The truth is that behind the property industry, there is a system that profits from foreign buyers' desire for paradise while providing them with legally questionable arrangements that those same buyers bear all the risk from, while the professionals who facilitated the purchase walk away with their fees regardless of what happens next while developers move on to the next project. Foreign buyers remain locked into vulnerable situations, carrying the weight of investments made based on incomplete information and legal structures that were never as solid as they were told. Thailand's property trap is a silent, widespread reality that the paradise marketed to foreign buyers is built on their willingness to accept risk. They don't fully understand, but will this truth ever become part of the conversation, or will it remain hidden as the industry continues growing, hiding the struggles of those who discovered too late that they never really owned their piece of paradise? Comment here with your thoughts on Thailand's foreign property market. If you like this content, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. To those of you who have watched us so far, thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next episode of our adventure.